further to explore other dynamics of the rural healthcare, we would like to invite Dr. Pawan Kholi, orthopedic surgeon, to share his views on challenges and suggestions he observed as an orthopedic surgeon. Please put your hands together for Dr. Pawan Kholi.
I'm a simple orthopedic surgeon from Pune, basically, working both in the rural areas of Konkan. The place is called Derwan. We do some joint replacements, we do some spine surgeries, we do some arthroscopic surgeries and repair of ligaments. A lot of people do this all over India. I think the only difference that we try is we try and make things a little more nature friendly. So if a replacement has to be done, I would rather do it only of the part that is dysfunctional or arthritic. So we have the largest series of partial knee replacements in India. If we do endoscopic surgeries of the spine, we'll do it through a telescope which does not even need a stitch or does not need anesthesia. It's done under local anesthesia. Therefore, we have the first syndrome described for simultaneous affection of spine and knee maladies. We are the first group internationally to perform both these surgeries in one sitting under epidural anesthesia within about 3 hours. We have a few other firsts to our credit, having worked in a rural area and an urban area. These three platforms of surgical care, of innovation. Incidentally, we have the only center for mind training in Olympic sport in the rural area, where we focus a lot on health other than just disease cure. We have found that our ancestors gave a lot of worthy wisdom to us that we have not been able to use. And a lot of these techniques of yoga and Ayurveda we have been employing in our holistic care. Over the past 20-25 years, there are a few things that I have realized and like to share with you. Basically, health is not just a physical entity, as you all know. It is man, vichar, bhavna. It's a slightly sensitive and subtle affair. You cannot just have physical health. It is a state of being, all said and done. It is not an external issue at all, number one. Number two, it is not an unnatural state. It is not something that we have. These are just some pearls that I hope we are able to share with our patients at some time. It is not something that you have to go to the moon and get. It is your natural, relaxed state of being. Literally, my teacher used to say this. He says, "Agar baap ka maal kuch hai, to swasthya hai." It is that simple. Thirdly, there is an important point of responsibility. Each person is responsible for his or her own health. अब ये थोड़ा सा we are responsible for health and not for health care. We have the whole issue of health and healthcare has got a little mixed up. थोड़ा सा patients की मूर्ता की वजह से भी है, they are not willing to take responsibility, and a little bit of it is industry based also. Our nation is one in which they use the word swasthya, which in Sanskrit means swa-astha, being with yourself. Ours is the nation where they linked it with swabhiman. Swa ke saath swabhiman ko joda hai. And the texts say that the higher your dignity about yourself, the healthier you are going to be. They linked it with swatantrata. They linked it with independence. So, as you can well see, swa-astha or swasthya is not just health. It's not just a parameter measured on a few blood tests, a few pathological reports, etc. But it is something deeper, subtler, more connected than that. And let us remind ourselves that what we are as in ourselves is what we are going to share with our patients and empower them accordingly. I think the way forward is a two-handed concept. The left hand is the primary knowledge of empowerment of each individual based on the principles of this country, what we have been espousing as yoga, Ayurveda, state of being, what you will, meditation, etc. That is primary, that forms the basic screen of health. And the right hand is then the various schemes, the various administrative services, as has been mentioned by our friends from Punjab and Narayan Hridayalaya and others. There are so many things that can be done, but these are one aspect of it. The primary part of health and the focus must remain state of being. That's our humble opinion and experience. Just a few alert points. Whatsoever we focus on will flourish. Therefore, may our focus be on health, not on health care. Because in health care, you are still subtly focusing on disease. One. Secondly, I'd like to share with you one of my experiences in a fellowship. I was fortunate to travel to a few countries, and Israel was one of them. I think it is high time that sportsmen become the biggest heroes in this nation. The reason is that they are at the highest point of health, mind, body, spirit. Second, they have put in blood, sweat, toil into that, achieving that particular pedestal. In Israel, you will be surprised there were only two categories who were considered heroes. Even the Prime Minister and President came after that. The first category was the Secret Service Agency called Mossad, because they are surrounded by 7 to 8 enemy nations all over, everybody trying to grab their land, etc. So first is the agent who is considered a hero, and the second category is the pilots. It is such a narrow strip of land, about 40 kilometers. In some areas, it is just about 4 kilometers. And you have to take off and land your fighter plane and frigates and the whole defense system just based on that small strip. And they realized that unless they gave the highest amount of respect to those fighter pilots, they would not be emboldened enough. People would not even try for such a risky job. I think the time has come that we should include sportsmen in our list of highest heroes. Thirdly, I think we are at the brink of a revolution in India. We will have to innovate. We will have to find our own ways which are suiting our own population. We will have to find our own ways. And we have seen time and again that we can do it. I mean, just need to put in that effort, think in a little creative fashion. I am telling you this after 17 patents, after 24 copyrights and what you may of our group. We will need to innovate. We will need to learn from the teachings of our sages who had our highest interest at heart. I mean, they have blessed the entire world with a lot of wisdom. And finally, we will have to learn to respect nature. I am reminded of the lines of my beloved teacher from Shri Kshetra Derwan, who used to say, तू अपनी ही खोज में निकल, तू किस लिए हताश है? तू अपनी ही खोज में निकल, तू किस लिए हताश है? तू चल, तेरे समय को भी तेरे स्वास्थ्य की तलाश है. Thank you.
Moving ahead to the next category, among Best Orthopedic Surgeon in Western India, the award goes to Dr. Pawan Kholi.